Murtuza Jadliwala, and I'm going to give today a brief overview of the computer science department and the various master's programs that we offer in our department. Next slide, please. I will start with a brief personal introduction, and then I will jump into an overview of the computer science department, the different research facilities that we offer to our students, and the different research areas that we are currently working on. Following that, I'm going to give you all a brief overview of the master's, specifically the MS in computer science and MS in cybersecurity programs that we offer in our department, followed by some useful information about financial aid and other opportunities. And then we'll end the presentation with a brief Q&A. Next slide, please. So my name is Murtuza Jadliwala. As I mentioned earlier, I'm currently an associate professor in computer science. My brief biography is as follows. I finished my PhD in computer science from University of Buffalo in 2008. Following that, I did my postdoctoral fellowship from EPFL, Switzerland. And then I joined Wichita State University for around 5 years as an assistant professor. I came to UTSA in 2018, and I have been here ever since. In addition to being an associate professor in the department, I'm also the graduate advisor of record for the MS in Cybersecurity Sciences degree program. My research interests are broadly in cyber and cyber physical system security and privacy. In summary, I'm interested in almost all aspects of cybersecurity and privacy. Although I'm kind of formally trained in the computational and theoretical aspects of security, my current research is a kind of a good mix of both the foundational and algorithmic techniques, but also system security research. An interesting part about my research is I love working with students. Almost all my projects involve a student researcher, and I'm co-supervising or supervising several PhD and master's students in my lab. So more information about my research can be found on my research lab's website, which is sprite.utsa.edu. The Sprite basically stands for Security, Privacy, Trust, and Ethics in Computing Research Lab. I actually, in my free time, I like to break, as in hack software and hardware systems and IoT devices. Also, I obviously fix them after I break them. And I also like to do a little bit of woodworking, and I like to play ping pong. With that, let's go to the next slide. And I want to kind of talk the next few minutes. I want to talk a little bit about the computer science department at UTSA and the different type of facilities and resources that we offer to our students. Let me begin with basically talking a little bit about the faculty in the department. And so we have around 20 tenured and tenure track faculty currently in our department, and 34 in all full-time faculty, which includes teaching track faculty and also part-time lecturers. We basically have 2 of our faculty in the top 35 cybersecurity educators list, which is a very prestigious list for top cybersecurity educators in the country. And 9 of our tenure track faculty have received a prestigious National Science Foundation Career Award, including myself. We have some of the state-of-the-art research labs and facilities in the country, and we do research in the area of cybersecurity, software and hardware systems, cloud computing, AI and machine learning, AR, VR technologies, and advanced networking. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some of our labs later on. We offer 3 degrees in computer science: a bachelor's of science, a master's of science, and a PhD degree in computer science. Recently, we also started offering the master's of science in cybersecurity science degree. And I'm going to talk about those degree programs as well later on. We have seen very high enrollments. As a matter of fact, computer science is one of the largest programs within the College of Sciences. We have roughly 1,500 bachelor students, including pre-CS majors, around 100 plus master's students, and around 65 plus doctoral students. And we roughly graduate 8 to 10 PhD graduates every year. We have seen excellent student placements in industry and academia for all our graduate students. Almost all our graduate and undergraduate students really find great jobs after they graduate. Some of the companies, these are just a small sample size that have recruited our students in the past, include IBM, Amazon, Rackspace, Southwest Research Institute, Microsoft, Google, USAA, Valero, Department of Defense, NSA. And a lot of our PhD students also get recruited as professors in other universities. One of my own master's student actually recently graduated, and she's currently in Microsoft in Atlanta. Next slide, please. Continuing with our department, computer science department at UTSA is also very highly ranked, in the country and also globally. The Times Higher Education rankings of 2019 ranked the computer science program number 60 in the nation, and it's in the top 250 in the world. Obviously, and you must have heard this before, UTSA as a university is very highly ranked in cybersecurity by multiple different ranking institutes and agencies. Some of the very popular rankings, which is by the US News ranking in 2018, ranked computer science as 119. And I'm sure that, we have gone up in those rankings recently. Also, another ranking by the Nanyang Technical University in Singapore ranked us as 130. So this just shows that we are basically a very well-recognized program within not only nationally, but also worldwide. Next slide, please. In terms of the kind of work that some of our faculty do in the computer science department, we do basically cutting edge research in a variety of different areas. I've just broadly, separated or categorized some of these areas into, three big buckets. One is the cybersecurity and privacy bucket, and a lot of our faculty work in mobile and IoT security, access control mechanisms, software security. Lately, a lot of them are working in AI and ML security and data privacy. The next bucket includes faculty who work in data-driven intelligence and AR, VR systems. We have researchers who are working in artificial intelligence and machine learning, big data, data science. There's basically several researchers who are working in computational biology and bioinformatics. And we have another faculty who's working in, and he's a well-known expert in AR and VR, including mixed reality systems. The third bucket involves systems researchers. We have well-known researchers who are working in software and hardware systems and networking systems. And we do research in software engineering, cloud computing, Internet of Things, real-time systems, and networking. Next slide, please. So basically, faculty members within the department also lead some major research centers and institutes within the universities. And these centers and institutes typically are multi-department centers and institutes. That means the faculty from several departments are part of these centers and institutes, and they kind of collaborate with each other to work on some of these interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary problems. So we have the Institute for Cybersecurity, which is led by Dr. Ravi Sandhu, who's a National Academy of Inventors Fellow as well. He directs the Institute for Cybersecurity, which is a huge institute for cybersecurity. Then we have our Dr. Greg White, who directs the Center for Infrastructure Assurance and Security, or CYCS, and basically his center focuses on computer security education and also computer security games. And he's developed some very interesting curricula for basically students of different types and different levels, and also he's an expert in creating games to teach computer security. Then we have some very new institute, which is the Matrix AI Consortium. which is led by Dr. Risha Puditipudi. She's basically an expert in neuromorphic computing, and the Matrix AI Consortium effectively focuses, as the name suggests, on AI and machine learning technologies. And effectively, our goal over there is to make AI and machine learning techniques which advance human well-being. And then finally, we have the UTSA Open Cloud Institute, which is basically co-led by Dr. Paul Rad, who's an expert in data science and AI and ML. And that basically institute focuses on developing new cloud technologies. Next slide, please. So in addition to these youth centers and institutes where students can get an opportunity to do research, almost all of our tenure and tenure track faculty also have their own individual research labs, which basically provides facilities to house students who are interested in doing research, provides them with equipment and any other support that they need to do research. So we have several labs, as you can see. I'm not going to read out each and every one of them, but almost all our faculty members have their individual labs. And these range from labs which focus on cloud computing to basically cybersecurity, to bioinformatics, to basically virtual reality and augmented reality, to machine learning and artificial intelligence, right? So as you can see, there is a lot of opportunity for graduate students to get involved in research in a variety of different topics and areas by working with one of our esteemed faculty members who are doing really cutting edge research in these areas. And almost all of these labs are extensively funded by research grants and awards from National Science Foundation, defense agencies. So there is a lot of support, and really, we are doing some really fantastic work in the general area of computing. Next slide, please. Some other interesting happenings that impacts computer science department. One of the major one is the School of Data Science. So the School of Data Science effectively is a new facility that is going to come up in downtown San Antonio later this year. It's a close to $100 million university initiative. And effectively what it aims to is to bring 70 plus faculty members from 4 different departments, including computer science. And these experts are going to basically work together to solve problems in data science and analytics and artificial intelligence. And they are going to effectively, the school is going to bring together these researchers into, under one highly collaborative roof. Obviously, in addition to faculty members, it's also going to bring together students, and it's going to give an excellent opportunity to students to kind of, work with other students and with other faculty members on some really interesting problems in the area of cloud computing, data science, and artificial intelligence. Next slide, please. So together with the School of Data Science, there's going to be another co-located entity which is called the National Security Collaboration Center. So National Security Collaboration Center, similar to the School of Data Science, is going to bring together government partners, industry partners, and academic partners, including UTSA, of course, and researchers and students from these different partners under one roof to solve problems that basically impact national security, including cybersecurity and privacy. And so, as you can see in the list, we have the National Security Collaboration Center has already formed some really amazing partnerships with some of the top defense labs in the country, and some of the top industry partners, companies like Raytheon, Accenture, SWRI, Dell Technologies, and also some other big academic partners like Arizona State University and New Mexico Tech, etc. And so this list is going to continue to grow. And so the goal of the National Security Collaboration Center is to create this really rich ecosystem of researchers and people working, in different facets, inside the government, inside the industry, inside academia, and bring them together to solve some of the most challenging and some of the most urgent problems in the area of cybersecurity and privacy. And so this is really the School of Data Science and the National Security Collaboration Center is going to be co-located in one facility in that picture that I showed before in downtown San Antonio, and we are really excited for its opening. And obviously, computer science is going to be a big part of that. Next slide, please. So with that, I kind of, concluded kind of the initial part of my talk, focusing on the computer science department and what are the facilities it has to offer. Let me focus a little bit on some of the academic programs, specifically the master's program that we offer currently. The computer science department currently offers technically two master's degree program or two MS degree programs, and there is one new program which is going to come up pretty soon. I'm not going to talk about that too much, but I'll just briefly mention it. So the first degree program is the MS in computer science. We often refer to as MS in CS program. I'm going to talk about that first. The MS in CS program has 3 concentrations. I'm going to talk about each of them as well, and also offers the option of students who can receive a graduate certificate in cloud computing. And I'll actually talk about how to obtain that graduate certificate. The second program that the department offers is a very new program, which is called the MS in Cybersecurity Science program. And I'm going to talk about that after I talk about the MS in CS program. This degree program started in fall 2020, and we have been growing really tremendously, that degree program. So I'm going to talk about that as well. And then lastly, we have the MS in Artificial Intelligence program, degree program. This degree program has not yet started. It's going to come, it's going to get started pretty soon, maybe as early as fall 2022. This is basically a degree that's going to be offered jointly by 3 different departments: the computer science department, the information systems department, and the ECE department. And basically, students can effectively choose their home department to be computer science, and then they can take appropriate courses to get the MS in AI degree. But today I'm not going to talk about that because we don't have that program yet set up, but hopefully in the future we will have it as early as next semester. So our master's degree in general, they have one thing in common: they all require a minimum of 30 credit hours. I'm going to kind of give you a quick breakdown. And both the degrees currently which are being offered have 3 different options, or provides 3 different options to students. First is the thesis option. I'm going to talk about what are the requirements for those. Then we have the project option, and also a course-only option. So the first 2 options are effectively options in which students have an opportunity to pursue research projects or programming projects, and count them towards their degrees. And if the students choose to just complete a degree by taking courses, they also have that option, which is the third option. And I'm going to talk about that as well. So let's go to the next slide. So the first program that I want to talk about is the MS in Computer Science program. Actually, obviously, I don't have time to cover each and every minute details, but if you all want details, I would highly encourage everyone to visit that website, which has all the details about the MS in CS program. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the program. The graduate advisor of record for this program is Dr. Sumit Jha. He can be reached by emailing at that address, where all the business related to the Masters in Computer Science degree program should effectively go to. So any questions regarding this degree program should go to that email. So as I said before, we have 3 tracks in the MS in Computer Science program. One is a thesis track, one is a project track, and one is the courses track. Effectively, all the courses offered by the computer science department are kind of categorized into 2 buckets. A bucket of core courses, which contains 4 courses, I think it's operating systems, analysis of algorithms, compilers, and programming languages. These are what we consider as foundational courses needed for all students who want to major in computing, right, or computer science. And so these are core courses. All students, thesis or not, have to take all these 4 courses, right? So these are 12 credit hours of core courses. Then the thesis students have to take 12 credit hours of elective courses, which are all other courses that are offered by the department. And these are generally classroom organized courses, right? And we offer a variety of courses ranging from machine learning, AI, to gaming, to security, to basically computational geometry. Please feel free to look at that website for details on the different types of elective courses that we offer. And so thesis students then have to take, in addition to these 12 credit hours of core courses and 12 credit hours of electives, they have to take 6 credit hours of thesis. And in a thesis, they effectively work with a faculty advisor to work on a research problem, which is defined by the advisor. And then as part of your research completion, you need to give a thesis defense oral exam at the end of your thesis completion. And so that kind of is your classical thesis option. Your non-thesis one, or the project option, again, you need to take 12 credit hours of core courses and up to 12 or more credit hours of elective courses. And in a project option, you need to, or you can register for these special courses called the independent study or directed research courses, which are effectively courses which offer you an opportunity to work with faculty members on either a programming project or a research topic. And effectively, the idea in this option is that you will do a project with a faculty member. And then at the end of your project, and the faculty member is the one who's going to define the details of that project with you. You will defend your project and present it to a committee of faculty members. And then the last option is your course only option. And in this option, you are effectively just going to take courses, right? So you take 12 credit hours, 4 core courses, and then the remaining elective courses. And then for the course only students also, we have an oral exam, which is effectively presenting up to 3 research papers in a final oral exam conducted at the end of all the courses after you've taken all the courses. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned earlier, the MS in Computer Science has 3 concentrations that students can choose from: the computer security concentration, the software engineering concentration, and the data science concentration. Students can choose any of the concentrations that they like. Each of these concentrations, effectively to complete them, they need to, students need to complete 3 courses which define those concentrations. Which courses are present in each of these concentrations, those details can be found in the graduate catalog, right? So the list is pretty huge. It's impossible for me to define that over here or describe that over here. And lastly, all students can also apply for a graduate certificate in cloud computing by completing 3 courses which kind of are a part of that graduate certificate. And these courses are also specified in the graduate catalog. So students have an option to not only specialize in a particular area like computer security or software engineering or data science, but they can also kind of get an additional certificate while they are doing their master's in cloud computing, which is obviously a very popular track and a technology in general. Next slide, please. So I talked about the MS in Computer Science program. Let me talk a little bit about the MS in Cybersecurity Science program, which I mentioned earlier is one of our newest degrees. It started in fall 2020. All details about this degree program can be found in that website link that I have shown in the slide over there. I am the graduate advisor of record for this degree program. If you have questions about this degree program, how to apply, what are the courses, etc. Any questions, please feel free to email me at that email address, and I'll be happy to get back to you as well. Similar to our MS in computer science, we have 3 tracks for this degree program as well. We have the thesis track, we have the project track, and we have the course only track. Now, unlike the computer science track, we have the courses, the classroom organized courses divided into 4 buckets over here. We have a set of core courses, which consists of 2 courses. We have computing or CS focused courses, which is the track B. Then we have the required electives, which is track C. And then we have other electives, which is track D. So for a thesis student, effectively, thesis student needs to take 6 credit hours from each of these tracks. Effectively means 2 courses in each of these tracks. And then, like before, they need to kind of find an advisor, define a thesis topic, take 6 credit hours of thesis credits, and then defend the thesis, which is effectively a research project defined by the faculty advisor. The project track is again similar to the previous project track that I just described. Over here, again, I think you need to take 2 courses in each of these tracks. And then instead of the thesis credits, you can register for independent study or directed research credits. And then work with a faculty member on a project, which is obviously focused on cybersecurity. And then once the project is completed, you need to present the project to a committee at the end of your degree before graduation. And then lastly, we also provide a course only option for all our students. If you don't want to do a thesis or a project and you want to just complete your degree by taking courses, that also option is available to students. In that scenario, students take 2 credit hours, 2 courses in track A, B, and C each, and then they take up to 4 courses in track D. And again, I don't have the time to kind of go over all the courses that are present in each of these tracks, but that website over there will provide you details on which courses are part of which track, and it has all the details. And the course only option, similar to the MS in computer science option, also has an oral exam at the end, which is where students are expected to read 3 research papers in cybersecurity and then present them to a committee of faculty members. So that's a kind of high-level overview of the Master's in Cybersecurity Science degree program. Next slide, please. One kind of question that I get a lot is a lot of times we get students who have probably started their degree somewhere else, and they want to transfer their graduate degree to UTSA. And so they have some non-UTSA or non-CS courses or non-computer science department courses. So the question that we get is, how do we transfer that? By UTSA rules, actually, graduate students can only transfer a maximum of 6 credit hours of non-CS courses and then apply it towards their master's degree, right? We have a committee which basically reviews all such transfer applications. That committee is called the Graduate Student Committee. So effectively, the procedure is kind of straightforward. If you think that you have some courses which you have taken at some other university or some other department which are equivalent to the courses that we offer in the computer science department, you need to fill out a petition and submit a petition to the Graduate Studies Committee or the GSE, along with some supporting documents like course descriptions, syllabus, textbooks, etc. The more documentation or the more proof that you have, the better. And the GSE is then going to review and effectively approve or disapprove your petition, right? A lot of times when we believe that students have taken similar courses from other universities, we end up approving those. And so that effectively helps students, because then they have to take lesser number of credit hours during the graduate program. Also, obviously, oftentimes we are also unable to review such transfer requests because courses are not really up to the mark, or the courses are significantly different from what we offer in the computer science department, right? So in that scenario, the more documentation you have supporting your case, I would say the better it is. Next slide, please. Another important point that comes up, especially with international students, is there financial aid available for pursuing graduate studies in the computer science department? The quick answer is yes. We have basically 4 different forms of financial aid available to students. The first is a research assistantship. This is typically provided by individual faculty members, and you basically, as a research assistant, you'll be working with the faculty member on a research project, right? Typically, a research assistantship covers not only your tuition and fees, but it also provides you a monthly stipend for your living expenses. So that is provided by individual faculty members, right? So the best way to obtain that is to reach out to individual faculty members and see if they have openings that where your skill sets are going to match with the research project that the faculty member is working on. The second form of assistantship that we offer is a teaching assistantship. Again, like research assistantships, it covers tuition and also provides a stipend. Teaching assistantship is offered by the computer science departments. Again, you need to apply to the computer science department to be considered for teaching assistantships. Traditionally, most of our PhD students are recruited or are supported by teaching assistantships. But we do have a few for master's students as well, really exceptional master's students as well. Then we basically also provide a $1,000 graduate scholarship, which is basically which is a one-time scholarship, which is a competitive scholarship. The advantage of this scholarship is that it is a competitive scholarship, and with this scholarship, students can qualify for in-state tuition. So even though it does not directly cover your tuition benefits, for international students who are actually out of state, who pay out of state tuition, if you get this scholarship, you automatically pay in-state tuition. So you get significant savings in terms of your tuition bill, right? So this scholarship is significant that way. Obviously, the application instructions and application details of how to apply for this scholarship are on the slide, and you need to apply for this scholarship after joining the department. And then there are some other grader positions that are also available in the department. These are typically recommended by instructors. These are grading positions. Typically the job is to help an instructor grade exams, assignments, etc. And these are hourly positions. They are typically, again, you need to apply to the computer science department to obtain this position. Typically, instructors recommend grading graders. So if you are taking a course, or if you're taking a course in the computer science department, try to do well in it, have a good rapport with the instructor, and hopefully, he will recommend you for a grading position. Next slide, please. I'm coming towards the end of my time, so I want to kind of end with basically some last minute information, some additional information of what else is present in a computer science department. What else can you do? We also offer, as I said before, a PhD degree in computer science, which is a very research focused degree. The expectation is there you'll be working with a faculty member on challenging research problems and basically solving them. Obviously, this kind of degree is required for advanced positions, such as research positions in big companies like Microsoft, Google, or even if you want to start a career as a professor like myself in a university, right? So you need a PhD degree. We do offer a PhD degree. In order to join our PhD program, you don't need a master's degree. You can apply to a PhD program directly with a bachelor's degree. Obviously, the number of credit hours that you need to take a little bit more. Please feel free to, if you're interested, please feel free to discuss this with either me or some of the other graduate advisor of records after you arrive in the university or in the department. Next slide, please. So I will end this presentation with basically a quick note on application deadlines. I'm sure that you have this information, but I'm going to reiterate again. For PhD, well, I'll just focus on the master's program for now. For fall, we have 2 application deadlines, March 15 and June 15. For spring admissions, we have August 15 and October 15. Again, these are for domestic students. For international students, We have only a single deadline. For master's programs, the deadline is March 1 for fall admissions and September 15 for spring admissions. We don't have summer admissions. So if you are a master's student and you want to join us in fall 2022, please make sure that your applications are in the graduate school by March 1st, because after that you'll not be able to apply. I think that's probably the end of my slide deck. Next slide. Yes, so that's kind of the end of my talk over here today. If you want more information, feel free to visit the website over there, which talks a lot about graduate programs in the computer science department and how to apply for it. I've also included a link for graduate school or where to apply. So you are not going to be applying directly to the computer science department, but to the graduate school, and select computer science as your degree program, or cybersecurity as a degree program over there. If you have questions about PhD degree, please feel free to email Dr. Dakai Zhu, who's the graduate advisor of record for the PhD program. For the MS in computer science program, please contact Dr. Sumit Jha, who's a graduate advisor of record for that program. And if you have questions or need more information about the Masters in Cybersecurity Science program, please feel free to contact me. And I'm the graduate advisor of record for that program. With that, thank you very much for your patience in listening me, and I will be happy to take questions.
What are the responsibilities of the graduate advisor on record? What sort of questions should students send to the GAR?
The graduate advisor of record is effectively, will handle all procedural questions. Like, if you have a question regarding your plan of study, if you have questions about, if you want to deviate from a plan of study, or if you want basically to transfer a course. So all kind of procedural questions, also admission related questions, etc., can be directed towards the graduate advisor of record. For day-to-day advising, right? So if you want more information on whether should I be taking a particular course or not, or which direction of research should I pursue, every graduate student in the department is assigned an advisor the moment they join. That's a faculty advisor, and that advisor is different from the graduate advisor of record. So that advisor is the one who's going to be responsible for the academic advising for the students, right? So if they need insights on whether a particular class is the right class for a student, or if they want to basically pursue research in an area that the faculty is currently working on. So that is where the academic advisor comes in, and all students will be assigned an academic advisor, but the graduate advisor of record is the one who oversees all the procedural aspects, right, of the degree.
What kind of advice can you provide to international graduate students, specifically in terms of preparation, who would like to pursue a master's degree in computer science or cybersecurity?
So basically, we get a lot of international student applications. All applications are basically, go to the graduate school first, where they check for completeness of the application in terms of all the documents, and then they send the files over to the department. The department has a graduate studies committee, which is a committee of faculty members who review these applications, and they come up with a determination where the background, the skill sets of the student is appropriate for a degree program. We basically effectively go through the transcripts of the students, which is the undergraduate transcript most of the times. Some of the students have already completed a master's degree in some other area, and so we look at that transcript as well. We look at statement of purpose. We really want students who are motivated. Graduate school is not easy. We have high expectations from our graduate students, so we really want to make sure that they basically channel their interest and passion appropriately in the statement of purpose. So I would advise them to really write a very strong statement of purpose of why they want to pursue a graduate degree in our department. And then obviously letter of recommendations is also another important piece of your application, right? Try to make sure that you have strong references from either past professors, if you're just graduating, or if you have professional references from companies that you have worked in before. I think those help us a lot. Graduate admissions in the computer science department has been fairly competitive, because we really like to keep our classes small and provide a very one-on-one experience to our students. I would highly recommend everyone to prepare their applications. Take some time in preparing the application, right? So write a good statement of purpose. Make sure all your documents are in, all your transcripts are in. And obviously, if you have questions, we are very happy. Me and my other guards in our department are happy to answer questions. If there are some concerns, or students don't know what else is needed. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye.